Hi there, happy Tuesday. Today we are going to talk about how to make sucky situations better. So here's the deal. Suffering is, in fact, a needed part of the human experience, and there's various reasons for that that we don't necessarily have to get into right now. But the reality is, having this goal of just always being happy and not going through any type of suffering is, that's the fool's mission type of thing. It is really an impossibility. So let's talk about when the inevitable, let's not be shocked by it every time something, unpleasant happens around us, to us, whatever. Let's stop being shocked by that and just accept, oh, okay, that's life being life again. And let's talk about how to make that sucky situation feel, be better. Either get there quicker, get to the better quicker, or the entire experience of the suckiness, how to make that less sucky. So the reality is the only thing that makes anything suck is our perception of it. It is our opinion that it sucks. And we know this because let's take a very common one, are like sports games, right? I'm rooting for my team, you're rooting for your team. End of the game comes, one wins, one loses. The entire experience was exactly the same, but for one fan, we are elated, and for the other fan, we are devastated. And so that goes to show us that is proof positive right there. It is not the situation that sucks, it is our opinion about the situation that sucks. So hear me. It is not the situation or the other person or whatever that sucks. It is our opinion that they suck that makes them suck. Wow, I'm saying suck a really lot today. But that's what happens when that's what we're talking about, right? So we are talking about perception. We can see from that example that the actual game hasn't changed. Everything is exactly the same. It is purely our opinion and our perception from which side of the field were we cheering, and that has determined if it was a positive or negative outcome for us. The thing is, we can always change our perception. Because perceptions are opinions and not facts, what that means is we get to change our opinion. We can actively do what we need to do to change our perception of an event. Now, I am not saying to, abort your devotion to your sports team and switch it to the other team when they win, right? But what I am talking about is making sure that we're looking through the lens that will best serve us, right? And so what that means is looking, like, if you were there live, you could still look for the gratitude of being at that game and being able to experience it live. That is a whole lot of privilege and, maybe luck and maybe, hard work or whatever it was that got you there. But there are a lot of things to experience, to be grateful for, and to shift the focus to when we're talking about that example of the game, right? Is that you can, in fact, if you shift your focus to the experience, to being able to be in there, to be in the energy, to be around like-minded people, maybe you made some connections to the people around you. You can choose to put the focus on the experience versus the outcome. You can choose to focus on the certain plays that were just like mind blowing and amazing and so much fun and exciting versus the fact that the time ran out before we could make more points. Yeah, that sounded very technically sporty, right? But you see what I'm saying is it is perception. Perception is reality. Perception is the thing that has us suffering through life or thriving through life. And the good news is you always have control over perception. That is something you in fact have control over. You do have control over your beliefs, your opinions, your focuses, where you decide to spend more time and where you decide to spend less. When you're telling the story or reliving the game over and over again, are you focusing on that last second when the clock ran out, or are you experiencing the whole 3 hours of being in community and being in that exciting space and soaking in all that pleasure? So notice it really is about the latest analogy that has been swirling around me is the idea of watering the flowers, not the weeds. Whatever you put attention to will in fact grow. And so how can you take that pause to give attention to what will grow. Now, here's a little caveat to this. I know you've heard me say this before. I am not all about toxic positivity. We are not about avoiding the painful moments or avoiding, the things that are serious in life. What we are talking about is switching our perspective so that we can see the entire situation, not just the sucky parts, not just the awesome parts, but the entire situation, so we can make a more educated guess as to how we want to move forward. So it is about watering the flowers, not the weeds, because, and here's why I focus so much on putting the attention towards the positive, is because that reptilian part of your brain is already going to focus on the negative. You don't need to water the weeds. They're weeds. They will grow no matter what. And so we don't have to put extra attention on the negative, because the reptilian part of our brain will already do that for us. It's just a matter of, we don't need to double down on it. We need to split that focus so we can see the full picture. So water your flowers this week. See what happens. Allow yourself the grief. Allow yourself, set a timer if you need to just like vent and get it all out and be ticked off and be sad and do all those things. Allow yourself to purge those things. Allow yourself to cry and get all those lovely cleansing hormones that are released when we cry and when we, freak out and all that kind of stuff. Do so in a way that it's not going to damage other relationships. Make sure you're alone or you're in a place where, you're not going to damage other people with your particular flavor, freak out. And then when the timer goes off, then it's time to change. Then it's time to focus on, okay, what is the gratitude here? How can I move forward past this? If you've gotten to a point where you feel like you are closed to all possible possibilities, then that means there's something that's missing there, but that by changing your perspective, by looking from a different angle, you'll be able to find an angle that does in fact have some possibilities. So shifting that focus will be important in order to move forward too, not just so that your life experience feels so much better, but also your possibilities end up opening up for you when you're looking at the entire situation. Let me know what you think. And as always, I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.